What's good, Passport Bros? I'm back with you with another video. Now we're doing dating in Africa in general versus dating in the US part 2. I did part 1. If you haven't watched it, watch it now. We gotta get back into it. This is gonna be a little more deeper than the last one that I did. The first thing I'm gonna do is tell you that it's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. It's like me playing LeBron James one-on-one. It's a mismatch. You already know who's gonna win, right? I'm not a professional basketball player, anything like that. It's a mismatch. According to what men want, based on what men want, it's a mismatch. You can't compare, but I am gonna give you the difference for guys that are in the U.S. or any Western countries that want to move to Africa in general. I'm gonna give you some game. The first thing I'm gonna get into with this one is when you're dating in Africa versus the U.S., the women in the U.S. have really nothing to offer. Again, when you see all these videos or when you ask a woman, what do you offer? Who are you? What do you bring to the table? She mentions, I have a car, I have an apartment, like stuff that has nothing to do with relationships. I have education, I have a degree, I make my own money, blah, 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 blah. And none of those have anything to do with being in a relationship, or it has nothing to do with values that you bring to the table in a relationship. Versus African women, you don't even have to ask that. You don't have to ask that with African women. I was talking to one of the girls that I'm dating here, or one of the girls I was messing with here, and she is 25. She's 25, and she asked me last night, and this is a common conversation that women ask men here in Africa. They ask you, did you eat today? What did you eat? I hope you ate. I hope you worked out. I hope you had something to eat. Like that's the questions that they ask. This nurturing and caring questions that when you hear questions like that, you don't ask a woman what she brings to the table. You already know she's already showing you value from the beginning. So those are not questions that African men ask African women. Like, what did they bring to the table? It's not a common question because it's visible to see what she brings to the table from the beginning. And this is what Western women don't understand. They start talking about education. Unless in your university you went to classes to learn how to be a good wife, or learn how to be cooperative, and learn how to go to the gym, and learn how to be a good wife, a good maid, or a helpmate, learn how to be feminine, which they're not. They're teaching you the opposite because, again, like I mentioned in my last video, according to statistics, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. It's 90% with educated women. So meaning the more educated they are, the more self-destructive they are when it comes to relationship because of what they learn in college. And they have this kind of ego and arrogance to them where they think because they're educated, they're better than the average man because of the gynocentric society that the U.S. is teaching women in general that they're better than men, or especially like in a black neighborhood where black women think they make more than men, which is not true because in every ethnicity in the U.S., the men of those ethnicities make more than the women. All you have to do is go to blackdemographic.com if you want to go see the income of blacks versus whites versus women versus men versus Asian. Like, it's all listed, but a lot of people don't like the statistics, especially women. Women do not like statistics. They tend to regurgitate the same stuff that they hear online, follow each other. Anything that matches their narrative, they run with it. So with that, it's two different things. When it comes to what they bring to the table, it's evident that African women, you don't have to ask them that. And like I was telling you, the girl that I was, she was going to come yesterday, but it was raining, so she didn't want to come because it was raining. I was like, stay back. You don't have to come see me. She was like, well, what did you eat today? I was like, I ate so I ate. And she was like, who cooked it? I was like, I bought it out. She was like, oh, you're not supposed to buy it out. She was like, should I make you food next time I come? I was like, yeah, I'll send you money for food stuff, and then you can make me some food. She was like, yeah, whatever you want to eat, let me know. I'll make it at home, and I'll bring it next time I'm coming. Easy conversation. I didn't ask her. I didn't ask her. It wasn't a conversation. It was her that asked me, what did I eat and how did I eat it and did I cook it and how can I cook that, and she realized that I didn't cook it, and she was like, well, I have, let me cook for you. So you see, you don't ask that in Africa, because they bring a lot of value to the table, which you see from the beginning. From the beginning, you feel the femininity through the phone. You feel the femininity just by talking to them. And the second one that I wrote down is tattoos, piercings, all that stuff. Most women here do not have tattoos, extra piercings, nose bull ring, that's satanic stuff, excessive tattoos. You don't want to take girls like that out on a date, right? When you see girls like that in the U.S., I mean, you probably want to fornicate with them, but they're not women that they're not women that you want to be seen out with. A lot of guys do settle for girls like that, and I feel sorry for those guys, because they've probably never traveled or been anywhere. They don't know that they have better option of more feminine women that don't have sleeve tattoos, neck tattoos. Some girls have face tattoos, and guys are still trying to take them out on dates. That's wrong. If you are one of these guys, you already know it's not going to end well, because those are signs of very traumatic past. It's signs that they're not feminine. It's signs that the relationship is just not going to end well. All those tattoos, they mean something. They represent traumas. The extra piercings, the fake butts and boo, and all that stuff, and all the fake and all the BBLs and all the lip fillers, excessive makeups, fake hair, all that. And now I would say that a lot of African women do wear the wigs. Not all, not most. Some do wear the wigs. Some of them wear makeup. And all you have to do is choose from one of the women that don't do those. So it's simple. If you're an African man or African American man or an American man that comes to Africa and you want a natural looking woman, there are a lot of them to choose from. There are a lot of women here that don't wear excessive makeup, that don't have piercings, that don't have tattoos. Most women here don't have tattoos, so it's easy to choose from them. Most women here don't have BBLs. Some of the celebrities, some of the girls, and some of the pros do have them, but most women don't have those. I would say most of the stuff you see that's fake is probably the wigs. And I would say if you don't like that, I personally would not take anyone serious that wears wig, that doesn't know how to rock her natural hair. I like a natural woman that's confident in herself, that doesn't have to plaster her whole face with makeup. Wear makeup, but in moderation. No fake stuff. Yeah, and I can choose from those, which they're in surplus. There are a lot of them. So when it comes to that, you're good. Another thing is when it comes to dating, nice guys in the U.S. are not appreciated. So if you're taking a woman out on a date, chances are that you're one of the nice guys, you're one of the good guys, and you already know they finish last, as you know that famous saying. In Nigeria, it's opposite. If you're a bad boy, if you're an F-boy in Nigeria, especially if you don't have a lot of resources, or if you just have this bad boy look, these women will not take you seriously. They won't take you seriously. Guys here don't front. They don't front the F-boy stuff. Yeah, there are a lot of F-boys here, I would suppose, but it's not something where women easily reward those guys. So that's the difference. That's the difference between dating here. If you're a nice guy, or there, if you're a nice guy here, you'll be married. You easily find a woman that'll appreciate you and give you everything you need in order to marry her easily. If you're a nice guy and a good guy, you'll win in Africa. You'll win, because these women are attracted to natural masculinity, natural providers, niceness. If you're a responsible guy, because that shows them that you're responsible and you'll be able to responsibly take care of a family. As to in the U.S., more women they will take the dates from you as a nice guy, a good guy, but then they won't be attracted to you. They'll go on a date with you, and then at the end of the night they'll give you a side church hug, and they'll go to the nice guy to get pounded out. It happens almost every single day in the U.S. because most women that go out on dates don't even like the guys they're going on dates with, especially those first and second dates where you don't know the girl. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your resources. You shouldn't be taking these women out on dates in the West anyway, unless you're dating her and you're in a relationship with her. She already proved herself to you. Yeah, you're free to do those things. Of course, you already vetted her. Yeah, you can take her out on dates and make sure that you're getting value from that. And don't make sure that your relationship is not one-sided. Don't be the one spending all the time, right? And the 90-10 rule is a big thing that I wrote down. The 90-10 rule is big in the U.S. 90% of women date 10% of the guys. It's even so bad now that 99 is like a 95-5 rule, right? 95% of the women want 5% of the men, because you can see them online when you ask them, how much do you want your man to make? Oh, I want him to make $500,000 a year. I want him to make $5 million a year. I want him to make $200,000 a year. I want him to make $100,000 a year. Not too many people make $100,000 a year. And if you're making $100,000 a year in salary, what these women don't understand is you still have to take taxes out, adjust by inflation. Literally, you have really nothing. You understand me? And especially if your income is coming from a salary and not from a business. If you have a C Corp or S Corp, you're taking most of that money home because you can write off a lot of stuff from your expenses, taking clients out and traveling, and just you can write off more stuff for those that know what I'm saying or intelligent enough to know what I'm saying. But a lot of these women don't care. They just see the money. They don't care if you have an honest job. As a matter of fact, they don't want you to have an honest job. They want you to have fast money so they can be there. And when you get caught up, they're on to the next guy and the next guy. So there's a 95-5 rule where you got a wholeflation, where our forefathers made less and they got more out of the women. And now, in this day and age in the U.S. or in the Western world, we have to work three times as much of our forefathers did, and we get less, if not nothing, back. And sometimes negative when we get divorced from what they got. So it's a 95-5 rule. So if you're taking women out on dates, or if you're dating women, you already know that they're not dating you for you. They're dating you for, especially if you have a lot of resources. If you're watching this video and you're well-to-do, you're making well over 6 figures, you're doing well for yourself. A lot of these women that's taking you up on those dates just to get resources out of you. A lot of women are just dating you just to get resources out of you. As soon as they find someone that's better than you, right? And have more money and this and that, they're going to be gone. So you guys know that in Africa, if I compare that to Africa, I'm just looking at my notes here. If you compare that to Africa, yes, a lot of women want resources as well. And the rich, of course, in any society that you go, let's not deceive ourselves. I've been to a lot of countries. The more resources you have, the more options you have with dating. Fine, we agree to that. And the 50-50 dating rule only works in the U.S. because women they said they're strong and independent and don't need any man. Plus, women make just as much as men. So the 50-50 rule works there. I see a lot of women online saying, well, if you take this 50-50 rule abroad, it's not going to work. We don't take the 50-50 rule abroad. We use it in the U.S. for you women because you're busy using guys for free food and not giving anything in return as far as value. But when we go overseas, I don't care. As a matter of fact, I want to take care of 100% of the bill because right away I'm getting a lot from that. I'm getting femininity. I'm getting cooked meals. I'm getting everything that I need. The home is good. Even if she hires a maid based on with my money to do it, it's getting done, and I don't have to take care of it. Hiring a maid here in Africa is less than $100. You can hire one woman to cook for you, clean, wash dishes, do the laundry, do everything in the house for less than $100 a month. So if your wife, even if she doesn't have time to do those things, we can hire someone in the household and she'll be in charge of that to do that if you were very well off and you live in Africa. Or you don't have to be well off. $100 a month is nothing really to, even if you make 35, 40, $50,000 a year and you live in Africa. So your money goes a long way. Plus, here, there's more traditions, right? There's more traditional gender roles. And everybody knows their role. Everybody knows their place. Women know their place. Men know their place. So it's easy to fall in that role naturally. When you meet a feminine woman, you, as a man, you naturally fall back to your masculine roles for providing and protecting. And this is what a lot of these modern women don't understand and will never understand, because they don't go based on logic. They just spill the same nonsense that the rest of them are spilling, on social media and dating apps and blah, 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 and TikTok and all of that. So the women realize that overseas, in Thailand, in the Philippines, in Colombia, men are not going there to do 50-50. We don't do 50-50 in those countries, because we get feminine, fit, beautiful, traditional women, and we automatically fall in our role because they're already raised to fall in their role. They don't have conditional femininity like you people have in the U.S. You women have in the U.S. You women say, oh, if he's this and this and that, then I'll be feminine. It's a lie. It's a trap. It's a trap. You're setting traps. You're setting a bait so you can get a guy to fall, and then you go back to whatever you are. And what you women don't understand in the West is, guys like us, we see all the ultra rich men and they get nothing. They get no respect, nothing. There was a video of Haisha Curry taking off her ring on a podcast because of a half naked guy walked in. Bro, guys are not getting anything in the West. I'm a regular guy in Africa, and a woman would never do that. A woman in Africa would never do that. Talk less of doing that on live TV. So you got to understand, there's a dynamic difference with what we get in the West versus what we get in Africa or in other countries, in other non-Western countries. You understand what I'm saying? Will Smith can't get respected. Jeff Bezos got divorced on. All these people are getting divorced on. All these people are getting baby trapped by like these rich guys are getting baby trapped and no respect. Their wife can't even stay with them because they see the money and they're in there for the money. And as soon as they get married, they sign that contract. It's an easy payday for them. So we don't deal with that overseas. So it's easier for us to fall back in our masculine. We're already masculine, but it's to take on those roles is what I'm talking about. So, and then another thing is equality in dating, right? When you live in a society where there's equality, it's equality, and equality is preached. Equal. Treat women with respect and equal and this and that, which I agree with. But don't come on a date expecting a man to pay. I don't care if he asks you out or not. You ate, so pay for what you ate for. You can easily say you don't need a man until it's time to be responsible, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm a woman, you invited me out. No, nobody owes you anything. Just like a man can't just say, oh, I invited you out and I paid, so you got to come on with me and give me that guac 3 million. You did, and we can't say that, or else we'll be shamed and canceled and all that stuff. So you see, we can't take on those masculine roles when everything is 50-50 and everything is equal. You get so unrealistic expectations in the U.S. versus here is another point that I wrote down. I discovered dating in Africa, a lot of women don't have unrealistic expectations in what they want in a man. I've never seen a woman write a list of what she wants in a man. It doesn't exist here. Women don't have a list of what they want in man here in Africa. They just want a nice man that can take care of them, that can lead, that can provide, that can be that masculine man. That's it. That is it. And even that, they don't mention it. They just expect a man to do that automatically, just like they are expected to be feminine, traditional, automatically. Everything is automatic here, is what I'm saying, in Africa, right? We don't have that conversations. You don't see podcasts in Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa or Kenya. You don't see panels of women and men going back and forth about you. You don't bring nothing to the table. Your body count this, and we don't do that here in Africa. Like since I've been here, you won't see any podcasts because everybody already knows what they need to do. Everybody knows what they need to do. Period. You know, I was talking to a girl. She's in college, and she was like, "We're doing exams right now," and she said, "After exam, I really want to see you." I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Yeah, you can come through." She's like, "No, I'm not gonna come to your place. We're gonna go out. You're gonna take me out, and then if we like each other, then I'll come back to your place." Easy conversation, very easy conversation, very easy and direct conversation. Meanwhile, in the West, right, these women will deceive you, act like they like you so you can take them out on dates, and you cannot have these conversations. You can't say I'm taking you out on a date, but at the end of the day we can go back to the crib. I mean, you can have that conversation, but you already know how it's going to go, right? Because these women, they want to use, because that conversation is not had, or you can have that conversation, or if you have that conversation, they will demonize you and they will use it to shame you. So they take that advantage to themselves to use you because they know they don't need you to expect anything. Basically, it's men shouldn't expect anything. Men shouldn't have any standards. You should just go with the flow and be an obedient servant as a man, right? In the whole society in general. And that doesn't happen here in Africa, right? Like that conversation never happens here in Africa. It doesn't. Unrealistic expectations, heights. Women don't say, "Oh, you're 6 foot. You're under 6 foot, so I won't go out with you." This stupid. I've never understood that. Being 6 foot versus 5'11" doesn't mean you're gonna be a good man, or that's why there's no relationships in the U.S. Women are the most shallow in the U.S. Women are the most shallow in the U.S. than any other country on the planet. I've never seen anything like that. Even look at me. I have bald spots. See, it's natural. As a man, as a masculine man, I think 55% of men experience hair loss. See, and a lot of guys in the U.S. they get very insecure, right? They shave their hair. Even Jeff Bezos and all these guys, they shave their hair when they start losing their hair because the society put all this unrealistic expectation on people. Here in Africa, nobody has ever said anything about my hair. They don't care about my hair. They don't care. And I've had the most beautiful women here. The most beautiful women you can think of. And I have receipts. So there's unrealistic, and I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5'10". Women don't care. Women do not care. Women don't have those unrealistic standards, those really, really vague lists. I don't know how the society in the US got to a point where everything is so shallow. I've never seen creatures as shallow as Western women. "Oh, if you don't make this kind of money, I won't date you. If you don't look this certain way, I don't date you. Even if you make that money, you need to do certain type of jobs. If you work for the Department of Sanitation, I won't date you. It's a blue-collar job. If you work construction and you're a construction supervisor making $120,000 a year, how am I going to tell my friends I'm dating a construction worker?" The most unrealistic stuff. Here in Africa, first of all, women, as I have yet to be asked what I do for a living or how much I make by any woman here. Women here don't have the audacity to ask you that. They automatically know that you're a man and you're taking care of your business. And yes, we pay here. A lot of the women that we meet up with here, we pay for their Ubers, we pay for food, but we get what we want. As men, we get what we want. We get what we want regardless, and they get what they want. If they don't, they're gone. And if I don't, I'm gone. And in any society, men pay. Like men, a lot of men think they don't have to pay. They just go abroad and they don't have to pay. You do have to pay in the back end or in the front end. It's just when you live in the West and relationships are so transactional, it kills it kills the romance, it kills everything. So at that point, there's no point doing it. Yeah, there are a lot of transactional relationships here, But at least in the transaction, you know what you're getting. When you meet women, I've met women here that ask me money right away. Like, oh, I have this project I'm working on. I need money. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not giving you money. What do I get? Oh, what do you want? And I state what I want. And they agree. And I agree too. And that's it. If that's what I want from the said person, and that's what she wants from me, we mutually benefit from each other. But see, in the West, everybody's busy dancing around circles, and there's certain things that you can't say, there's certain things that you can say, and everybody knows what they're doing, but everybody's acting like they don't want it. And women are saying they don't need man, but they're also chasing man. And women are saying they don't want man, they don't need man, they're strong, independent, they don't need man for anything, and they don't want to get married. But they're also shaming passport bros for leaving. I don't understand. Or they're also saying that they're trash and they're broke and they're dusty, but they're also just taking flights abroad, doing videos. Oh, look at these men in Colombia. There's a lot of, if you're looking for a black man, they're all in Colombia. Women doing videos about that, chasing men around. There was a black American girl that went to Thailand that was doing videos about black men in Thailand. Oh, if you're looking for all the black men, they in Thailand. Like, why are you guys following these guys around if you really don't like them? I mean, like I said in my last videos, if I take my trash out right now, I'm not going back to the trash to see if the trash is there. I'm not following the garbage man away to see where he's gonna throw the garbage, or to see where they're gonna dispose the garbage. It makes no sense. So it means it's all cap. And that doesn't happen here. That doesn't happen overseas. Women do state what they want. Women do state the intentions. Women are intentional. And when they are intentional, I'm intentional too. Right? So that makes dating really easy in Africa versus the US. For the most part, everybody's transparent here. It's transparent. It's transparent. Women ask that I've been asked by a couple of girls, what do you want from me? Is it just sex? What do you want from me? Is it just, intimacy? Is it a relationship? And I sometimes I say, yeah, that's all I want from you in particular, because I don't see anything else going from this. And they still agree, and they still meet up, and they and they receive what they want from it, whether it's time and attention, whether it's they love food, whether it's they just want to go out to a nice place, like whatever, right? Everybody lives life intentionally and very transparent. And this is the kind of society that I want to be. And this is the kind of society that I'm telling men to be. And this is why I did this video about dating in the US versus dating in Africa. And a lot of men are still scared to come to Africa. And whatever they've told you is wrong. There's a lot of money here. There's a lot of resources here. There's a lot of beautiful, beautiful women here. If you want to get married, I would say move out of the US, move to Africa. If you like black women, the most populated area and the most congested black demographic is in Africa, the continent in general, with over 50 countries to choose from. You can choose from any country, right? You can go to Kenya, you can go to Mozambique, you can go to Morocco, you can go to Libya, you can go anywhere you want. You can go to Tanzania, you can go anywhere, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Senegal, Ivory Coast. There's so many countries to go to. Gambia, Zambia. There's so many countries to go to and meet beautiful women. But I would implore you to really work on yourself. Really work on yourself, because it is tough. It is tough, because if you're not used to being masculine, you can't just come here and be a weak person. You have to work on yourself and be masculine. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn to say yes. You have to learn how to control your emotions and be very, very masculine. And you have to learn how to lead. A lot of you men don't know how to lead. You've never been led by your father. Some of you never even met your father or had any kind of positive role model in your life. You don't know how to lead a household. So you have to learn that. And there's something that man can learn. And that's why I commend a lot of men. If you really want to do it, you can. You can. But I think for Western women, it's done and over with. You can't teach women how to be feminine that their mother never taught them how to be feminine. Now you can't, like a woman that has a body count of 300 or 35 or 200. A lot of these women that looks innocent in the US that you guys are chasing around has a body count of over 200, 250. And you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know at first. But when you start dealing with them and seeing all the mental illness that comes with all the different energies in man and sperm and all that stuff that they've collected, then you get to see that. Here in Africa, you have a lot of different women to choose from. If you're a Muslim, you can choose a devoted Muslim girl. If you're a Christian, it's a lot of beautiful women in church that have not slept around and have kept themselves, preserved themselves for the man that wants to marry them. They live with intentions. In the US, people don't live with intentions. Individuals, society, everybody's just doing whatever they want. And then in the back end, they think that they're gonna come and hit that, buzzer beater, but it doesn't work that way, especially with women. So peace, like, subscribe. I'll be doing more videos about this. Please support the channel, Cash App, Venmo, and also book a consultation about moving to Africa if you want to learn more about Africa. Peace, guys.